Hey y'all, what's going on? How's it going? I hope you guys can see me okay. All right, sorry I'm a couple of minutes late, but hello to you all. Hello, hello, hello. And I am here and so excited to be here with you. Welcome to a live I Choose Me conversation. We are live on Facebook and on Instagram. I'm Letitia Brown. I am your author, inspirational speaker, and your life coach. I am so passionate about helping you grow as a person, and I'm here to help you transform your thinking toward choosing you first so that you can effectively serve other people. And I'm just so happy that you're here. I have so many people that have been encouraging me to talk about my qualifications. So I guess I'll tell you all a little bit about myself. Like, not everything, because if I told you everything, it'd blow your mind. I'm just kidding, but I just wanted to let you know just a little bit about myself. And just please know that I am super passionate about this topic, and I'm really passionate about all of the I Choose Me topics. But this particular one is personal to me, and we're again talking about how to choose yourself without losing yourself, right? How to choose yourself and not lose yourself, right? And this particular topic, like I said, it's a personal one to me because I am an experienced parent. I've been a parent for over 27 years, and I've been a wife for over 31 years. I have been a certified coach for over 30 years. I've dealt with children, college age students, parents, and so on and so forth. I've been a licensed minister for over 25 years. I hold a master's degree in organizational management, and I've been a project manager and managed so many major events that it'd make your head spin. And I've worked with thousands and thousands of people from all over the globe. And so I've seen all kinds of people, all walks of life, different nationalities, different tongues, different people who have different perspectives about things. And so it's been a blast doing that. And also, I've been a speaker, a presenter, and a teacher for years. So I know that I'm qualified to speak to you about the I Choose Me topic. And I'm here to help you to master your story. And guys, I really love sharing with you all. I had this person the other day. They came to me and they said that this is my season for me to choose me. And they said they had been taking care of a ton of people for a whole bunch of years, and they decided that it is time for me to take care of me. And I loved hearing that. And they said that if they were not privy to this message that we're having each week and the conversations that I've had with that person and have coached them through, they'd probably be doing the same thing next year that they've always done, and that's taking care of everybody else and doing what's best for everybody else without taking care of themselves first. And so they're excited about the I Choose Me message, and they're very thankful for it, because if I hadn't been harping on it, they'd probably be still doing the same thing next year. So this whole platform that we do about the I Choose Me message, it really is about creating a lifestyle of balance for yourself by choosing to be emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially healthy first, so that you can be of service to other people. And I always say, remember that you matter, and it's okay for you to take care of yourself first. Why? So that you can effectively take care of other people. And as I mentioned earlier, we're talking about how to choose yourself and not lose yourself. And I want to cover two areas today regarding that. One of them, and by the way, this is the parent edition. So I think we're probably going to do it in a series, but this particular one is the parent edition. And today I just want to talk about, dealing with your careers and also setting healthy boundaries with your children. Yesterday I had the pleasure of speaking to this most adorable man. He was at a party yesterday, and the guy gentleman had to be around my dad's age, but I mentally called him a grandpa then. But quite frankly, my grandpas right now, if they were alive, they would be in their hundreds. So he was more like a dad as it relates to me. But he felt so nice and cozy like a grandpa. And he wanted to know everything about me and about my daughter and what I've done in life and in business and what we did and what I'd done education wise. And I had mentioned to him that I go live and I teach the I Choose Me message. And I gave him some details about it, and I just saw him drop his head and he took a seat and he said, "Oh man, I can relate to this topic so well, and I wish that I could turn back the hands of time and make some decisions that I thought were best for me." He said, had I made those decisions, it would have been such a blessing to the people that I love, and I would be even happier now. And his pain reminded me that as we talk about parenting, we focus so much on what women go through, but don't realize that men need to grab a hold to this message and find pockets of opportunities to choose themselves too, right? So I really believe this message is a message for the masses because it's taboo to talk about you choosing yourself, right? But we have to talk about it. And to be perfectly honest, not just talk about it, we also have to be about it. We have to also take action as it relates to I Choose Me. I wrote the book, Get Up You Big Fat Procrastinator, and the title, of course, is a play on words. But the truth is that although we can claim or disclaim whether or not that we are procrastinators, sometimes we just need a friendly reminder from a coach or someone that cares about you that, hey, take a look at this area and see if you can increase in productivity in that area, right? And choosing you, I believe, it's an act. It's not just words. It's not just, let's talk about it here and talk about it there, or have a conversation here and have a conversation there. So if I go back to the person that I talked about earlier who has sat under the message, I think for the last 2 years or so, if that person only listened to the conversations and not act upon the conversation of I Choose Me, again, as I mentioned, they'd be doing the same thing next year that they did in previous years. So choosing yourself is not just about talking about it, but it's about being about it, right? And the word choose is defined as to pick out or select someone or something as being best or most appropriate of two or more alternatives. So if we're talking about having the option of choosing alternatives, today is a good day for you to choose you first. And as that wonderful gentleman spoke yesterday, he chose himself and made a decision that he thought was appropriate, even when other people didn't think so at the time, he would have been able to serve his family better in that area had he chose himself first, right? So again, choosing you is not selfish, but it is selfless. And as you choose you first in the areas of mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, vocational, and being healthy in those areas, then you become healthier, and everyone around you can experience the overflow of you taking care of yourself and the love that you have to offer them. And to be perfectly honest, you can love others better if you love on you first and if you trust your instincts in that area. I love how Zachary, my son, said it the other day. He said that he didn't know that the brand preaches liberation in one's choices no matter the outcome. Ooh, I love that. While we also have a heavy belief in self-love and in confidence, ICM, which is I Choose Me, tries to build on this philosophy and interprets that same well-being in different aspects in life. I Choose Me is about having enough love for yourself and understanding that your mental, physical, and spiritual peace is always intact. You are the captain of your ship and the master of your fate. You love and live with no drawback and understanding that you matter. I personally love that as a parent, that my kids are picking up on this discipline that I call I Choose Me. And they're picking it up in their 20s, and that's cool. They're picking it up before they get married, and they're picking it up before they build their own families. And to be honest, none of us is perfect, right? But if we could trust the process, trust our instincts within natural laws, then we're on our way to making this planet better. And I'm sure you guys can agree with me on that, right? So, with that in mind, let me encourage you parents or those that are thinking about becoming parents in the two ways that I mentioned earlier. The first one is dealing with your career. It's how to choose yourself and not lose yourself, the parent edition, right? And these are for the people who, for those parents who make a decision to forego a career and be a stay at home parent. And that really is your choice. And I think it's an absolutely wonderful choice. But as you and your partner, y'all make that decision, and this is for people who have already become parents, they're living in it right now with their children, or maybe they're thinking about becoming parents, right? I say you got to plan everything out first. It's really important that you plan everything out first, because many people, they just jump into that type of situation without having a plan. And when you don't have a plan, guess what? Life is going to happen. And then you look up and you can't, understand where, life is gone. You look up and you ask questions like, who am I? What did I do for myself during that time? I gave all of my time and attention to my family. But in the end, what do I have to show for it? Right? And then if you count it out, you'll be asking yourself like, dang, I spent at least 6,570 days and maybe up to 8,000 days raising children, right? And again, if you don't plan for what it is that you want for yourself in the discipline of choosing you first, life will happen. And you'll look up one day and you'll wonder where time went. And then you're be asking questions like, what did I do to make sure I exercised self-love? What did I do to prepare myself for when they leave? Because guess what, beloved? They do leave. They're here one day and then all of a sudden they're not, right? And for those who stay home a little bit longer, that may happen too, right? But you spend years in the house, doing laundry, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, attending all the school functions, going to all the doctor visits. You're breaking up fights that are happening in the home and outside of the home. You're changing diapers. You're buying school clothes and shoes. And then many of you don't know that when they get older, shoes cost a certain amount when they're little, but when they get bigger, the clothes are way more expensive, right? And you're helping them with their homework, and you're being a shoulder to cry on, and you're wiping away your children's tears, and you're helping them when they're constipated. You're dealing with family meetings, dealing with bullies, and you're praying that they make this team, and when they make this group, you have to attend all of those events. And all of those things are beautiful things that I would not change for anything in the world. But the question is, what did you do for you during that time? Did you have date nights with your spouse? Right? I like what my sister does with her husband. They take staycations. I look up and they're like, we're on a staycation, we're on a vacation, just like they take staycations and vacations, and they celebrate each other's birthdays and their anniversaries away from the kids. And I believe that it keeps their marriage healthy. So, have you planned to have a girl or a guy's night out, or maybe a game night with other couples? Have you thought about creating a side business or a family business? Do you spend time in meditation and prayer? Do you have spa treatments where you're getting your nails done? You get a manicure. Is it manicure? No, pedicure. A pedicure or a manicure? Do you get facials and massages done? Have massage treatments? Have you planned that out? Have you joined groups? Have you planned to save and invest money? Have you thought about creating new hobbies? Do you take time to develop friendships outside of the home? Do you go for walks outside? Did you get exercises? Do you ride your bikes? Do you go to fun events that don't include the kids? Maybe you read great books or join a book club or something like that. Do you attend or tend to your emotional and mental needs by possibly speaking with a therapist or listening to podcasts and different people like me who make you feel good in certain areas? The sky's the limit, beloved. But there's nothing more important than you creating a plan. And y'all got to hear me on that. You got to plan on that. Every week, as you plan for your children's week, you must put yourself on the calendar, and you could call it I Choose Me activities, right? Because the what's next question, it's going to come. It'll come up, right? And you'll look around the house, and for a minute, you're going to love the peace, and that's when you become empty nesters, right? You're going to love the peace for a little bit, for a moment, and then you're going to ask, what's next? And I say to you, beloved, plan, and plan some more. And listen, it can be a humbling experience when you have given everything that you have to your children, and then you look up and they turn 18 and they leave and they may not come back. Right? You're like, give. And it's like, and then they leave and it's like, well, who's going to lift me up? Who's going to build me up? What's next? So it's important for you to choose you and not lose you while you're being a parent. And for those of you who choose a career outside of the home while you're parenting, all of what I just said still applies for you too. Everything I just said, you got to take care of yourself first, right? And whatever you do, you don't have to adhere to societal expectations and peer pressure, right? Because in some environments, you may be expected to stay home. And some people can look at you and think there's something wrong with you and think that, that you don't love all your kids, but that's not true. In some homes, you have to work. You got to work in order to put food on the table. You got to work to make sure that ends are meeting the way they need to. And that could be the husband and the wife, right? Or single parenting home, whatever it is, right? You want to work outside of the home because you desire to work outside of the home, and that's okay too. Either you have to work or you want to work. Either way, it's okay. Both of them are okay. But what's the most important in all of it, while you're working outside of the home and working in the home, you got to plan. You got to plan to take care of yourself. You got to do it. If you don't plan, like I said before, life will do it for you. And guess what? It may not be the way you want it to be. It may not go the way you hoped it would go, right? So life is going to happen. But as Zachary said, you're the captain of your ship. You can direct that ship, which is your life, where you want it to go, if you're disciplined enough to plan for it. And if you don't plan, you can easily lose yourself. Here's the second thing, and this is a big one as a parent. You must set boundaries with them little children. You got to set boundaries with your children because they don't care one bit about mommy or daddy needing any space. They don't care. All they care about is themselves, right? And I'm not saying that they're bad or anything like that. It's just kind of how it is, right? Uh, I've been at that place where you go to the bathroom and the kids are knocking at the door. They're standing at the door waiting on you. They walk in the room without knocking, and it's mommy, mommy, mommy this and mommy that, and daddy this and daddy that, and mama, stop everything you're doing and take care of me. And to me, it's kind of funny, but it's also I'm very serious about the need for you to set boundaries for your children. And I didn't have all the answers as I was developing as a mother at that time. I didn't have anybody to tell me that I need to set healthy boundaries. It took a little bit of time for us to catch on, and we did catch on concerning that. But you got me now, so let's make sure that we're setting boundaries. And you know what? It's so funny because when the kids, got older, and all kids do this, and they get those phones, meaning you can text your children, you can text them all day long when they get a little bit older, and they will answer you maybe when they get ready to answer you. But the moment that they text you, you got to hop to it or they'll start losing their minds like, what in the world? Like, mom, dad, where are you? I'm texting you. And as parents, we do it too, right? Right? We stop everything that we're doing. We could be in a meeting and we answer our children no matter what. And that's a beautiful thing. Now, granted, when your children go off to college, that can be a scary experience, right? When they call you and it's unexpected, and as a parent, you got to answer it, even though you may have created some kind of boundary. But when our kids were in college, to prevent me from freaking out or not feeling loved by them, or to just keep up with them, I created these days for them to call. Zachary's day was Thursday, and it still is, as he travels all over the world now. And then Tabitha's day, I believe it was Tuesday. But beloved, you got to set boundaries, and you can start that at an early age as you plan. Now listen, kids like structure, so you have to give the kids the time and dates that you will do this or you will do that. For instance, when I go into my closet and I close the door and I turn off the lights, and everybody in my family know that that's mommy, even as an adult, that's mommy prayer and meditation time. And sometimes I may, fall asleep in there, but they know not to disturb me at that time. So, beloved, if you need to, take time for yourself by, maybe taking a bath or, having a wine and candle time, you can prepare your whole household for 8 p.m. Right? Everybody's good. Everybody's set. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Everybody's sleep. Don't bother mommy. It's 8 o'clock and it's mommy time. And if you train them, they'll follow the rules. They just have to have structure in place regarding it. And for you young mothers, train your children to go to bed at a certain time. I'm telling you, it'll be frustrating at first because they don't want to go to bed, but you got to put them to bed early. Remember, your children like structure and they don't care for chaos, even though they will make your house chaotic. But that is not their desire. They will much rather prefer structure than chaos. And if your kids are running around your house in the middle of the night, and if y'all just clip or stitch this part, right? But if your kids are running around in your house in the middle of the night and you're just looking at them go, they're just running around all night long and they don't have boundaries, those kids are actually running your household. And that's a problem. Then they leave your house like they were in charge of your home. And I know it doesn't feel good to you. And I know that your life is not balanced when you're in those situations. So today you can work on making that adjustment so that you can have balance in your home and balance in your mind. And mom and daddy, if you allow them, your kids will think you owe them for the rest of your life. And if you have a plan to choose you, they can't bully you into nothing. But it has to start early. If you're already in it and you feel that, that you're feeling that feeling already, put your foot down and you do this. Got it? Here it is. This is for young women who are wanting to become parents and young men or people who are already in it, right? Have your family meetings. I can't express this enough. Some people skip this most important must, M-U-S-T. Some people, they skip it, right, for your family, and you think that you can function at a high level. But somewhere, somehow, there's going to be a burnout or it's going to be a blowout, one or the other, right? So with your family meetings, you schedule it along with an agenda. You create a day that you're going to have your family meetings. We started off with our family by having them every week, basically on Sundays. Or I think we did it every month to start, every week to start off with, and then every month, and then we started, annually, right? But at the table, the family meeting, we'll start there. We'll have a full agenda. Everybody adhere to the agenda, and having the agenda is the place where expectations are set, right? So this is a great time for you not only to talk about the things that are happening in your children's life, but it's a good time to say, hey, on this day and this hour, this is mommy time. This is daddy time. This is mommy daddy time. Grandma or grandpa or so-and-so, whoever, they're going to be here to take care of you. If you put it there, the kids won't freak out, right? And this is a time for you to talk about money, whatever it is. If you schedule it and you plan, like I said, your children will appreciate the boundaries and they will appreciate the structure. And in there, you know how I talked about making sure your house is shut down at a certain hour. In your family, when they're babies, you just do it, right? You just stay there with them and make sure they do it. But when they're of a certain age, 4 years old, 5 years old, you talk about lights out or at this time. That's the time that the lights go out and you can't get out of your bed. Okay? Whatever you need to do to write out your plan for your family, make sure you do it, because planning is the principal thing. You got to do it. Beloved, don't skip the meetings. Parents become undisciplined, and guess what? Your kids are going to follow suit. Have your family meetings and include yourself in that meeting so that you are choosing yourself and you're not losing yourself. Well, beloved, I really hope that you have a fantastic Thanksgiving week. I hope that you are taking the time to take care of yourself. Again, plan, and make sure that the people around you understand the boundaries that you set. Even if you're not a parent, your friends, the relationships that you have with other people, you set the boundaries and you plan what it is that you want for your family. And I love right now, like I said, what my kids are doing. They are catching on to the message. They're understanding it as a principle for their life. And I appreciate that with them, but it takes time for us to continue to talk through it, right? So today is a great day for you to choose you. And if you don't choose you first, don't count on anyone else doing it for you. You gotta choose you. I hope I said something that will bless you. I would encourage you to visit my website at letitiabrown.com. You can contact me through social media for coaching and workshops or training. I do one-on-one coaching, I do group coaching, and I'm just here to help you grow as a person and to help you to master your story. Remember, I have decades of experience. I have certifications in those areas, and I really thank you for listening to me, and thank you for supporting what we do here by picking up your copy of Get Up You Big Fat Procrastinator. And this is a beautiful time for you to pick up the I Choose Me hoodies, because it's cold as heck outside in Houston. I don't know what it's like in other cities, but it's cold in Houston. So because of your support, we're able to carry the message of hope across the globe. Get your hoodie, get your merchandise today. And I love you so much. God bless you real good. Share this message with other people. Take care now. Bye bye.